Hello, Space Cadets. I am Sergeant Space Panda, and welcome to Buried, an interactive story. Now, I'm in the settings section because this game doesn't really have an opening. It just says, this is an interactive story, and the choices you make will help decide the rest of the game. So, settle in, sit back, and enjoy the game. I open my eyes, and the first thing I want to do is scream. I'm flat on my back, and everything seems to hurt. The trees overhead look familiar. It's a clear night sky, almost beautiful, except for the fact that this means I've been out cold for at least 6 hours. But there's something wrong. I don't remember what, but something happened in my head. My God, my head hurts. And a ringing in my ears. Was there an accident? An explosion, I think. I remember Dennis screaming, but after that, I can't remember. As I sit up, I notice that my hard hat has been thrown off. I look around the area, but it's not here. It feels strange to go anywhere without my hard hat, but I've got to find the other members of my crew. They could be in danger. Okay, we could search for the hard hat or forget the hat and search for the crew. Well, if we search for the hat and we find it, we're less likely to have something blow up again and hit us in the head, but if we forget the hat and search for the crew, we might be able to save somebody's life. But we can't really save anybody's life if we're already dead, so let's search for the hat. I get up on shaky legs and look around for a moment. A few nearby trees look to have been splintered and broken at the base recently. They certainly weren't like this earlier. Searching for the hard hat feels normal. It makes me feel like maybe there isn't something wrong here. I see it behind a fallen log about 10 feet away from me. How it was thrown so far is beyond me. Driven by nothing more than habit, I walk over to it, pick it up, and place it on my head. Next, I walk over to the center of the logging site and don't like what I see. Well, so far it seems pretty good. Let's continue. This isn't really a action game. It's more pretty much just me reading a story and making choices, but it's very morally obligated, and I hope you guys like it. The logging site looks like a bomb was detonated right in the center. I don't know where to start. The one load we had managed to stack on the truck for the day is overturned, the trailer bent and the logs hanging off the back. Where the hell is everyone? My head is killing me and this ringing in my ears. I can't hear anything. Not birds. Not my footsteps. Nothing. Makes me wonder if I hit my head after my hard hat flew off. I run through a quick mental checklist to make sure my brain is still working. My name is Roger Hastings. I'm 41 years old. The year is 2017. I own a small logging company and we've been logging in this strip of Kentucky woodland for almost a month now. Okay, so my brain works. That's a relief. But it also makes me fearful because something is certainly not right here. I look around the logging site, my mind trying to figure out what has happened. Just about every piece of equipment has been overturned or tilted. Look at the debris or look at the truck. Well, I mean, we're just looking at stuff, so either choice we make, it doesn't really matter because I don't think it's gonna do much. But let's look at the truck. Maybe somebody was driving it. Maybe they got injured. Let's look at the truck. The truck. The hitch is completely broken, like it was blown off in an explosion or a really bad accident. Had there been an explosion, all of the fuel on site would have started fire. But there's no charring, no burning, nothing. I walked through the area where Dennis had been working. From the looks of it, he'd been moving slowly. He'd only taken down 4 trees today. His metal lunchbox is open, an indicator that he'd been taking an early break. But he's not here. No one is here. Where the hell is everyone? I could try to make a call on my cell phone, but its battery is already running really low. Not that it matters. The reception is crap out here. Call somebody on the cell or yell for someone. Well, if we call somebody on the cell, what are they going to do? Even if we, call the paramedics or something, it's going to take them forever to get to us because we're in the middle of nowhere and somebody could be dying. Whereas if we yell, they're more likely to hear us. And, you never know. We may need that phone later. So let's yell. Hey guys, where is everyone? Tony, Dennis, Frank, Joe. But their names fall flat among the wreckage. I get nothing back other than scaring away a few birds overhead. Might as well start walking and try to find some answers. The highway is almost a mile back through the woods, down the gravel road we used to reach the site. Maybe the crew ran that way for help. But why would they have left me? Were they scared, out of sorts? Maybe I can catch up to them, but with my truck turned over on its side, it looks like I'll just be walking. My God, I can't even remember what I was doing before waking up on my back. Wait, what's that underneath the bulldozer? Oh my God, it's a leg. It has to be either Tony or Dennis. The dozer looks unstable, like it might roll some more. Might not be safe to get close, but at the same time, I can't just leave him there. We could go look, or we could stay back. Well, I mean, he could be alive. I mean, he'd have some serious crush injuries, and he probably wouldn't be feeling too hot, but there's a good chance he could be alive, right? Let's go take a peek. Let's go take a looky-loo. Hey, I yell, are you okay? Are you alive? Holding onto my hat, I skip over the wreckage equipment and stray logs to get closer. I can see a bit more of the leg. The jeans are soaked in blood. I recognize the work boots. It's clearly Tony. His leg is bent at an impossible angle, nearly crushed flat. Welp, looks like he's dead. The closer I get, the more apparent it becomes that Tony didn't survive. Do we leave his body alone or pull the body out? I think we're gonna leave him alone. Respect for the dead. It's a thing. It's like what they did with the Titanic. They just left all the bodies there because it was more respectful. So we're gonna play it safe. We're gonna play it cool and just leave the body alone. Plus, if this is like a zombie game, might just be better off where he is. There's nothing I can do for him now. I start to back away slowly. In my shock, I stumble back, suddenly tripping over one of the stray logs. My head collides with one of the logs as I bite the ground, but my hard hat does its job. Thank God I decided to look for it earlier. See? I told you. Told you we were going to need that hard hat. But what's more startling is the realization that Tony is dead. Looking at him, I feel something rising up in my throat, and I don't know if it's a scream or a vomit. But I have to push it away. If I lose my cool right now, there are too many questions that will go unanswered. Shit, I can't believe this. Tony, he had 2 boys. He coached his oldest son's baseball team. He was the hardest worker I had and was one of the most honest and reliable men I knew. This isn't right. I can't stay here. I have to find Dennis, Frank, and Joe. I have to find out what happened here. Okay, so far it's pretty good. It's pretty good. There's been lots of plot twists already. Got a dead guy. That's comforting. On the bright side, it doesn't seem to be zombies, because zombies don't really make big explosions. Terrorism, maybe? I'm not sure. Obviously, this is a horror game. I mean, the pictures are pretty cool, right? As I walk through the stacks of logs from the last week or so of work, everything feels frozen. This high-pitched sound in my ears, it's terrible. It keeps happening every few seconds and sounds like it's coming from far away. I can't help but wonder, is it my ears or is it something else? The silence out here is creepy and there's a smell like the atmosphere after a bad summer storm. I might as well admit it, I'm a little scared. Everyone is missing and it's dead quiet out here. There doesn't even seem to be a breeze to rustle the leaves and branches. My right knee hurts like hell. My head was hurting so bad before that I never even noticed the pain in my knee. I must have heard it during during the what? Accident or... Wait, is that Dennis? I can see him sitting on the ground, motionless, about 30 feet away. Do we yell out or walk up? Let's walk up. I'm feeling the walk up option. He's just sitting there, not moving. I walk up slowly next to him. Dennis, hey man, can you hear me? I tap him on the shoulder. He looks up at me from the ground. Oh, good God, I thought he was dead. Clearly coming out of a daze. Yeah, Roger, I hear you, he says. Dennis is built like a wrestler and has the tough personality to match. But in this moment he looks disoriented and even a little anxious. Though I'm glad to see him, the fear in his usually confident face is alarming. What the hell happened? What's going on? He asks. Don't know. The crew is missing. Or an explosion, I think. Well, I feel like we should tell him about the missing people rather than talking about there's something being blown up. Because if we tell him about the missing people, he might know where they are. Missing, Dennis says. Where do you think they went? Or he could not know where they are. I'm not sure, I say, but it has me pretty freaked out. Something's not right here. Still sitting on the ground, he looks around the woods as if he's just now understanding the severity of the situation. The equipment was overturned, the dozers too, I say, shifting my hard hat and wiping my forehead. You okay? I ask him. Yeah, just shaken up. Me too. This dialogue is so stimulating, guys. This might be the most intimate conversation Dennis and I ever had. Well, he and I have always been on good terms. We've never been particularly close. This is an intimate conversation for you? God, you must suck at foreplay. I've always respected him, though. Sure, he's come to work a few times looking like he'd been in a bad bar fight the night before, but I've always seen him do an enthusiastic impression of a dinosaur as he played with Tony's kids while they waited for their dad to finish up his shift. It's then that it hits me. Dennis and Tony were good friends. I'm not sure I want to rattle him with the news of Tony's death right now, not before we know what's going on, but he has a right to know. Some of these sentences aren't really sentences, but, okay, we're gonna let it die, we're gonna continue. Do we tell him Tony's dead? Or do we not? I feel like I'd want to know, so let's tell him. Ooh, we made a big decision. Dennis's eyes fixate on me, startled. He was crushed under the dozer, I say. Dennis pauses for a moment, like he's trying to understand what I said. His eyes narrow and his bottom lip quivers. Shit, he says, and I can tell he's fighting back tears. He and Tony had been tight, almost like brothers. Yeah, I'm 41 and I still say tight, dog. I'm hip with the cool kids. Hey, he adds quickly, as if trying to escape the reality of Tony's death. Did you see that light? No, I say. What did you see? I don't even know, Roger, he says. It was like this flare of white light. It came right up out of the ground like an explosion. So there was an explosion, I say. Maybe it was some equipment or... This was no equipment, Dennis interrupts. Oh, shit, read that wrong. Sorry. Agitated. This huge ball of light came right out of the damn ground. What did it look like, or where did it go? Well, he just told us it was a huge ball of light. I don't know how much more detailed he can get with that description. It's a big-ass ball of light. What more do you want from him? So let's go with where did it go? Just shot up into the sky until it was out of sight. When? I'm not sure, he answers, but I had finished about 10 trees for the day, and it was about to top one. That's when it happened. You dirty liar, you only cut 4. You were almost done with 10 trees, I ask? Yeah, he says, looking at the ground. I wouldn't want to take a lunch break until I was done. And that's when the light blew up. Why? You don't believe me? Okay, yeah, I feel like he's crying bullshit with that whole 10 trees thing because we saw his lunchbox and we saw that he'd only chopped down 4 trees. He's trying to make himself look good. But in this situation, I really don't think that it matters. I mean, he's totally exaggerating, but I feel like if we say he's exaggerating, he's gonna get all pissy, and then we're gonna have to deal with him being all pissy, and nobody wants that. So you know what, whatever, we believe him. I mean, I believe him about the light blowing up. That's probably a thing. Why would you lie about that? He saw what he saw, I think to myself. He has no reason to lie about this. My God, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, he says. But if I'm being honest, it scared me pretty bad. And if it's all the same to you, I'd like to get the hell out of here. Both stand up and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. His right side is coated in blood, the red seeping through his blue work shirt. There are splatters of it here and there, but also a very large red splotch that makes me worry. Are you in a lot of pain, or how did you get that injury? Well, I mean, he's probably not feeling too hot if he's bleeding out his side. Just a guess. But he's probably gonna be like, yeah, it friggin' hurts. So let's see how he got the injury. I'm not sure, Dennis replies. Must have gotten thrown or hurt somehow from the light. So the mystical ball of light came out of the ground while you were chopping your mysterious 10th tree and shanked you? Okay, sounds believable. It's then that I notice the strange ringing noise is still filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Dennis looks scared when I ask him this question, and he just nods. I thought it was just me, he says. He looks out of sorts and uncertain. I've never seen him like this before. It's obvious that he's looking for some reassurance, even though I'm his boss. There's something very unnerving about this. Okay, well, for one, I thought you couldn't hear. Like, I thought you were just deaf. Earlier, it said you couldn't hear crap, and now you can magically hear Dennis? Okay. Okay, we're gonna go with that. We're just gonna continue. We're gonna breeze right by that. We'll be okay. It's probably nothing, or it's freaking me out. Don't tell the dude it's freaking you out. If he's obviously scared and he's obviously looking for some reassurance, why would you be like, oh my god, yeah, it's super scary? That's like what they do in the horror movies where the girl's like, oh my god, we should split up. And the dude's like, yeah, totally. Just, no. Tell him it's gonna be okay. Lie. Lie out your ass. Let's be realistic, I tell myself. Might as well try to be empathetic. Out here in the middle of these woods, the ringing could be anything. Maybe a car alarm from through the woods or something. Still, even my passive comment has seemed to reassure Dennis. He looks a bit calmer, more relaxed. Maybe he took some shrooms. I mean, you're in the woods. Might as well, right? We both start moving forward and don't say another word. Did you try to call Frank? Dennis asks. I know he had a cell on him today. Not yet. Luckily, I still have some battery left. I pull out my cell and call Frank. Happy I didn't make that call to Dennis earlier. I told you. It rings, but he doesn't pick up. Well, shit. But then I hear his phone go off behind the stack of logs. Dennis and I give each other a look. Oh my god, he's dead. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up and we walk behind the logs to find Frank's phone on the ground, abandoned. We look for Frank but find nothing, not a single trace. Oh my god, he's a zombie! It's then that I notice something really odd. A 10-foot wide hole in the ground right near where the phone was. But there's no stray pile of removed dirt or rocks. It's clean, smoothly dug, cutting into the earth, wide but only a few feet deep. It looks unnatural, like the ground was just deleted, no shovels or diggers used. Dennis walks over to it. This looks like the same kind of hole where I saw that light come from the ground, he muses to himself. I say nothing. My mind is spinning, but I don't know what to think. We need to get out of here, Dennis mutters. At that moment, the ringing noise carries through the forest again, sending a shiver down my spine. Dennis is right. There's something strange going on, and we might not be safe here. But that ringing sound could be a clue as to where the rest of the crew went. Okay, do we check out the creepy sound, or do we get out of here? Well, I mean, if this was a horror movie, we'd go check out the sound and die. But if we leave, we might just be leaving the other guys to die. So do we do the cliche horror movie or save our own asses? Cliche horror movie, save our own asses. Cliche ass, cliche ass. You know what? Let's be cliche about it. Let's be cliche. Something's not right, I say, and if there's a mechanical noise like that. You think someone is out here? He asks. Maybe. I think we should at least check it out. They might be able to help. Yeah, you're right ahead. You go right ahead, he says with a grin. I'll be here waiting for you. Better hurry, though. Dennis doesn't look like he's in the best shape to be trouncing around the forest, but we need some answers right away, too. Do we leave him or do we bring him? Do we leave him or do we bring him? You bring him, obviously. Always have backup. We've been making some big decisions here, guys. No, you're coming with me. I bend over and hoist him up against my shoulder. He resists just barely and then gives in. He's looking at me like he's terrified of me now, making a moan in his throat. Is it like a deep moan, like a grrr? Is it more like a little, like, girly thing, just kind of like, eh? Anyway, I start moving through the woods quickly. With no idea where the rest of the crew is, I worry they could be in danger. Every tree out here looks exactly the same. Well, no shit, Sherlock, you're in a forest. They're all growing out of the same roots. I grew up in the country and can find my way around the forest without much of a problem, but I'm feeling dizzy. Not all forests are the same, dumb shit. You could grow up in the forests of Washington and then be in Tennessee and be screwed. You are not Bear Grylls, obviously. I'm leaning against a tree when I see something that has no business being out here. Our logging crew's been out here for 3 weeks and I've never seen it before. Well, Space Cadets, this seems like a good place to stop for the first video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you want me to continue this series. Thank you, and this is Space Admiral shit. This is Sergeant Space Panda signing out.